Hey everyone, it's Stacey with NutritionJobs. I have with me today Holly Larson. Hi Holly.
Hi, Stacy.
We are doing our annual event that is the Dietetic Career Trends for the current year, and that is 2025. I was just saying in the as we were preparing, getting ready for this, I was just saying that I love doing this, and I feel like you and I could spend so much time just chatting about all the dietetic career trends because there are so many opportunities for dietitians. So let me just introduce all of your information. So Holly Larson is an amazing freelance copywriter. She does a lot of work for me, for other dietitians, and for other health professionals. Her business is called Holly Larson Writes. She's got a bunch of stuff. Holly, do you want to say what you've got?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm a dietitian turned copywriter. It's a really fun niche to be in. I do the writing that people either don't have time to do or don't enjoy doing. And I think it's really fun. It's a way for me to impact the world and make it a better place by amplifying the important work that my dietitian clients are doing. And it's fun. I like to say that you can absolutely figure out anything in your business, but if you try and figure out everything in your business, you're not going to grow and scale in the way that you could. So when I have clients like Stacy that I get to write for, I'm taking that work off of their plate so that they can do the work that they enjoy better, that they're better at, and that your business as a whole grows. So I
Yeah.
do ghostwriting, which means I write blogs and Stacy puts her name on them. And then I also do mentoring and I have a writing course for people who want to learn how to do their own writing. It's not stuff we learned in school, but it's really important if you're an entrepreneur to learn how to write effectively and play nicely with the Google gods. That's SEO. And they have been ornery this past year. And it's a piece of the puzzle of having an effective business.
You've got a blogging club too. I think that's really helpful for people.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's called the RD Blog Club, and it's the structure and accountability to produce one high quality blog for your business a month with a whole lot of support to make sure that that blog is really good.
Yeah. So thank you for your work. Thank you for your business. So one of the things that, well, I'll just say, I've got two main business ventures. One is NutritionJobs.com, which I've had for 25 years, and now Dietitian Salaries, which was launched about this time last year. And we've got lots
Yes.
of anonymous salary survey information from other dietitians in the US, just like you, who have offered to share their salary information anonymously. So participate if you aren't already in there as a member, or if you have a change in your job or a change in the number of jobs you have. You can create an account and go in there and edit whatever you want to do. All right, so okay, we love doing the job trends because there are just like this huge abundance of jobs that are out there. And as I was mentioning before we hit record, that we have a blog article that it's just sort of a running article called I think it's called, I should have put the URL in here. Anyway, if you just type in nutrition jobs and dietitian job trends, this article will come up. It's a running list of all the years that we've been tracking this now. And so we have just published the 2025 trends. This information came from the two of us doing our own research, researching and chatting with other dietitians, researching what is going on in the industry as a whole for dietitians, and also in the world. I have relied a lot on the recent publication from the World Economic Forum in Davos, the Future of Jobs report. And so we put together a bunch of different trends that you can be on the lookout for, sort of listening to, and that you can either implement or think about how you might pivot in your own current practice, however you're practicing, whether it's inpatient, outpatient, traditional, non-traditional, writing, corporate wellness, whatever it might be, that can inform how you're going to run your business. And I say run your business because whether you're working for somebody else, whether your paycheck comes from people that are actually paying you directly, or if it's coming from a company, it's all still a business. You're a brand, you're a business, and your whole reason for being is to serve other people as a dietitian, as a nutrition expert, and to make money doing it. And so I think we all love to hear about this. I put this poll out for 2025 about career trends and whether or not people are curious about it. And it was funny. So we've been doing this for a couple of years, and I've been watching in this poll the trend of how this information might inform your career. And it's gone up from like 50% of people saying yes to 68% last year. And then this year is 75%. So I think that like we're doing a service. I think this is fun,
Oh,
helpful. And I think there's fewer people that say no, it's not very useful. I do want to know who those that 3% is, though. Okay,
probably not on this call.
they're not honest. Hopefully, they are. One of the other factors that goes into how we determine our trends is the from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. I don't know. I think it's helpful, but it's kind of lagging information. Anyway, it says that the median pay in 2023 was about 70,000 a year for the dollar amount that, and our job outlook is going to go about 7% increase in the number of jobs that are out there. It used to be 11%. So I actually think, even though it says faster than average, it's it seems to be sort of hovering in a lower range than I think it has in the past. But I still think that there's a lot of opportunity as dietitians. And just as a point of reference, I just looked last night at what the average dietitian salary extrapolated out to a 40-hour work week, and it's about $84,000 a year. That is nationwide. So do check this out. I know it's a sort of a pitch for this, but you can see other job titles, what people are making, where they're living, how many hours they're working. Not everybody works 40 hours a week. So I just want to put that out there. All right, are we ready? Let's do it. Let's go right into this. Again, I have this scheduled for about a half an hour. We'll end at the bottom of the hour, and I'm 9:30 Pacific time. We have just a few that we're going to highlight today. Obviously, we're going to start with this one, but we have the full list of 14, 15 different trends that you can check out, and I'll show you all what those all look like. But we're going to highlight and talk specifically about a few of them in detail and how you can get on the bandwagon to make more money as a dietitian. All right, Holly knows like most of these really well. I know a couple of these well, so I'll talk about a couple of them, but she's gonna take the reins on this. So let's talk about GLP-1s.
So yes, GLP-1 medications are here to stay. They originally had diabetes interventions in mind and managing blood sugar. We found out they can help to manage weight, and they are being used for that more and more commonly. And as dietitians, that means even if diabetes education or weight management isn't our specific niche, we have to keep in mind that more and more people are on these medications, and to be able to help support our clients and patients with managing side effects, having realistic expectations. So even if obesity intervention is not your specific niche, a lot of people are on these medications, so we need to be on top of the research and how we can best support these clients.
I think there's so much opportunity here. I know it may not, everyone has like an opinion about it, but regardless, I always like to think like a capitalist when it comes to working as a dietitian. And that just means that you're in the business of making money for a service and to be of service and meet the people where they're at. Capitalism is just exactly like what does the market want? Consumers want this because they've been frustrated with their own body weight or weight loss issues or their diabetes management. So I think there's two populations that are taking this medication. There are the people who do have type 2 diabetes, and then there are people who don't have type 2 diabetes but are wanting to lose weight because it lowers your appetite, it decreases or improves your insulin resistance sensitivity sensitivity, excuse me. And this is why I'm not in clinical anymore, guys. And, and it also slows down gut motility. I have to admit, I have a couple friends that are on it and they tell me the inside scoop, and it's really funny. They don't feel that interested in food at all while they're on it, and they may be on it forever. Some of them like to think of it as like a blood pressure medication, like, hey, this is what I'm, yes, there's side effects, but I'm going to be on this forever as long as I can afford it or my insurance will cover it. I'm going to be on it forever. Or there's some other people that just are going to take like 4 or 5 doses of it and then call it a day, but they are constipated. They are not eating food that they are interested in eating, and they're not getting enough protein. They're not getting enough fiber. They're not getting enough micronutrients. So these are all opportunities for us to help them feel better and be better and have a better nutrient profile in the small amount of food that they are eating. So I just think this is really exciting. I know not everyone agrees, but this is an opportunity for dietitians. All
And
right.
Stacey, to go on of your comment about thinking like a capitalist, because of the prevalence of these medications, we're seeing food brands that are targeting people who are taking this medication. I've seen meal plans and like subscriptions to food, like when you get food sent to your house that are specific to this population. So there are opportunities for us to make sure that these are truly serving these clients in terms of, are they the appropriate kind of menus for these clients? Are these foods actually helping? Are they something that we want to help support and be partners to? Or do we want to write informative articles to say, don't be fooled by these things, so that we get to be the people providing high quality, trustworthy information in any setting?
I totally agree. And they're listening, they want to listen to us. We just have to be able to be there and provide the information for them. So, okay, that's going to be a super interesting area. And I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it as well. All right, telehealth, nutrition services. I've been doing a lot of work in this area trying to understand, and you too, Holly, trying to understand why all these telenutrition companies have popped up overnight and what's behind them and what are their opportunities for us. So we've got a really great blog article on this. I'll put that in the notes as well. I think if you just type in telehealth nutrition companies and the word NutritionJobs, all one word together, into your search engine, it'll pop up. Hopefully it does pop up. But Holly did a lot of research on this, and I just think it's a great opportunity for dietitians, whether you're working full-time, part-time. I've had some great conversations with several of the companies, including Food Smart, Nourish, Berry Street. Like, they all have a certain niche, that a patient population that they serve, and there's always room for dietitians in there. They usually have a pretty nice onboarding program. It's not too hard to both interview and get onboarded with them. You can start off oftentimes as a 1099 consultant and then work your way up to becoming a W-2 salaried employee. And there's always benefits to doing that. But there's all kinds of ways to imagine how you can work in private practice, sort of, without having to run your own business. And so, Holly, you've done a lot of research in this area. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head with your comment about it's a way to have some extra income or a smaller amount of income, maybe if you're a stay-at-home mom and want or need some income, and this is a way to work without needing a physical office, without having to completely launch a private practice from scratch. It's certainly, of course, still an option to have your own private practice, but for a lot of people that feels pretty intimidating, and navigating insurance. And it's a way to have support with that, but still some autonomy in the work that you're doing. And when I was doing the research for the article that specifically does a deep dive into these telehealth services, I was actually a bit bamboozled with how many, like, the blog just kept getting longer and longer as I kept finding more options. And some of them, like Nourish, you can focus on any niche that you want. So Nourish as a whole serves every kind of client, but you as a contractor or employee within Nourish can focus on the kind of clients that you want to serve. There are other companies that focus on a specific population, like there are ones that are specific to obesity interventions. There are some that specifically serve women in menopause. So if you have a specific clientele that you want to serve, you could focus on that specific company. Some are bigger than others. Some serve all states and some serve just certain states. So it kind of depends on where you are, what kind of support are you interested in, and so on. And some are better for if you're more of a newer dietitian and are looking for more mentorship and support. Some are better fit for that. And if you are further in your field and more confident in the knowledge of the kind of clients that you're serving, they're ones that have less support and more autonomy. So no right or wrong. It's kind of a matter of where you are and what you're looking for in the work that you're doing.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you for all that research you did in that area. So again, check out the blog article that has a list of all of those. And I think also on my Instagram, I have a reel in there that if you just type in the word, I forget what the Tele on that particular tile, then I'll send you a link to that article too. So either works. All right, moving on. Okay, mental health and wellness. This was on our list before, and I think it's expanded a little bit in the world of Alzheimer's, cognition, mental health in general, and how there are lots of opportunities for dietitians. Holly, this is your expertise as well here too.
Yeah. So the more we study, the more we learn how much what we're eating impacts how we feel in a given moment, as well as our risk for developing conditions like Alzheimer's in the future. Um, I love talking about the MIND diet, which is an acronym. Gosh, Stacey, I don't remember what it stands for, but it's a dietary intervention that includes the Mediterranean diet as well as others, and it helps to lower your risk of developing Alzheimer's. And then for people who are struggling with mental health challenges like depression and anxiety, medication can be a big piece of the puzzle, but it's nice to know for people that it doesn't have to be the only piece of the puzzle and that what you're eating really can impact how you feel. So for dietitians of how can we support our clients to feel their best by being empowered with the right things like making sure your vitamin D levels are good, making sure you're having enough omega-3 fatty acids, having protein throughout the day, all of those things that help you to feel your best and to help your medications work the best so that you're living a happy, healthy life.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think we have actually now a blog article for all of these. We put out like an article every week. So there's a blog article on this as well on NutritionJobs, and I'll put a link to it. I can't remember what it is, but I think if you type in how nutrition impacts cognition, dietitian jobs, there are some ideas about how you can implement this particular, I wouldn't call it a trend, but this particular focus
Mhm.
into your practice. So this is really helpful. In fact, Skelly Skills is giving a presentation on Alzheimer's and nutrition just after us at 10 o'clock Pacific time. Uh,
1 p.m.
yeah,
Eastern.
it's a free CPU that is really beneficial. So for those of you who are watching this recording later, that has already passed, but they have a lot of resources on that too. Ooh, got microbiome research. I am so fascinated by this, and I feel like the older I get, the more I learn about the gut microbiome and opportunities for dietitians. So I think this is it continues to explode. I think we're understanding more and more about how the gut microbiome might influence our choices, the food choices that we make, but also how the food choices we make will influence our microbiome. And I think they're great opportunities for dietitians. You did a lot of research on this too, Holly. Do you want to share with us?
I do. So I think gut health is just where it's at.
I know. I think so too.
And I'm teasing because I'm laughing because I have my own small private practice. I'm working with one of those telehealth companies myself, which is fun. And one of my clients, she likes to tease me back. She's like, I just don't believe that gut health is real. And I'm like, it is, but we'll talk about it slowly. So for dietitians, in terms of job trends, this could include anything from being on top of the research of how gut health impacts your clientele. One of my members of the blog club focuses on working with athletes, and she just finished a blog post about prebiotic foods and how that impacts gut health in general, but athletic performance specifically. So she's tying this into how is that impacting her ideal client and using a blog to attract more of them to her practice. But this could also mean, in terms of jobs for dietitians, this could be partnering with any of the companies that's doing research with gut health and doing stool set testing and seeing how does this microbiome impact their health and doing research about it, or promoting products that have probiotics and prebiotics in them, writing blog posts for that company to help do education about it. There are a lot of different ways that we can, again, help the world, make the world a healthier place, and have meaningful work and income that supports your dream life.
Yeah, thank you for that. That is really good. I don't do direct patient care anymore, but I have a lot of friends who think I do and want me to. And I'll tell you, everybody secretly has gut issues and they always want to talk about them. And different phases in your life, you have different gut issues. They never go away. People want to talk about them with what they believe to be a trusted source. So again, opportunities for dietitians. It may not be your favorite topic, but it is everybody else's favorite topic secretly, and they will pay you for you to help them. So get on
Yes.
it.
Yes.
In fact, I'm meeting with a friend in a couple days who, in exchange for lunch, is she wants to talk about her gut health. So all right. Okay. Leadership roles for dietitians. We both put this on our list. Oh, I meant to mention back at Gut Health. One of the other resources that helped us inform this list is going to the conference, the Food Nutrition Conference, FNCE. And
Mhm.
FNCE still has a ton of vendors providing gut health nutrition implementation products or all kinds of stuff. It is still like, it's in sodas, for probiotics and prebiotics. So it is still, I think that's always a great way to see like what are some upcoming food trends at FNCE, and this gut
Mhm.
health is still a big major one. But moving on to leadership, I have been talking about leadership in dietitians and building those skills for years. I think because there's a lot of misconception about what leadership is, and having leadership skills on your resume, whether you are a brand new dietetic intern looking for your very next job as you enter the workforce, fast forward, or whether you're a seasoned dietitian working as a food service manager, what we think is typical, like a leader, or maybe it's you think that you have to be a member of your local dietetic association as a president. So those are all clearly leadership roles, those other two, but leadership can come in so many different shapes and sizes, and being able to show that is really valuable. But the other big reason that we want to focus on leadership is because people who are in some sort of leadership or management role make more money as dietitians. And so I think maybe you've got some ideas on that too, Holly, to share and talking about how that plays a role in policy and strategic planning. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think a common assumption that people have is that leadership just is limited to working in a hospital setting. And while that is one place that dietitians can be a leader, there are a lot of other avenues, such as working in different corporate settings, like you have listed. It's not just the nutrition director. And the more that we have a seat at the table of people who are making big decisions, the more that we can advocate for the value of our field, the expertise that we provide. Um, and Stacey, I think you could contribute some job titles that people might be looking for that dietitians could be a good fit for. The word that's not always going to have the word dietitian spelled correctly or incorrectly in the title. There are a lot of other ways that a leadership role could be marketed on LinkedIn. Stacey, do you have any ideas?
Well, I think the word you actually captured it here is the word wellness director or wellness manager. It doesn't have the word dietitian in there. That is a new, sort of a new term that's being used by a lot of the contract food service companies. And some of the major food vendors and caterers out there, that is a term that they're looking for in that sort of management position. I will also say from the report from the World Economic Forum, having reskilling and upskilling, UP upskilling, is a major trend that they are encouraging and seeing for being able to either sustain your current job or be able to be promoted to the next job, or again to make more money. The whole reason you get promoted is because you get to do more interesting work, more responsibility, or maybe less responsibility but more like sort of, less in the field and more in the head type responsibility, and hopefully making more money doing that. So being able to show that you are able to learn, to be a lifelong learner, to be a continuous learner, to be able to improve your skills, adding different computer program proficiencies to your resume, adding areas where you took the lead on a project, a committee, big or small, showing that you've got advanced skills in certain areas. We'll talk a little bit about that later for certifications, but showing that you are staying relevant, that you're taking the initiative to stay relevant in your position, and being able to demonstrate what the outcome was, that again demonstrates your ability to lead and to take control. And I think that's just really helpful for any type of position, but when you're interviewing for that position, being able to speak to that is going to help your career. So having these leadership roles for dietitians, but also showing that you have had some leadership experience and some leadership roles. Again, whether you are brand new dietitian or whether you're seasoned or in the middle of the road as well. I think that's all sort of important. Back to titles, I guess, it sort of depends on what the position is, but you might see it like as a regional director or corporate or work site when you're working for wellness programs. So wellness is a really big term in there too. And then again, it's always about professional growth and making more money as
Mhm.
dietitians. That's our goal, right? All
Which we
right.
do not need to apologize
And we
for.
don't have to apologize. It's what everyone else does. All right. So sort of tagging on after that conversation about leadership, talking about advanced certification. This is an area that has like really blossomed in having this advanced sports nutrition expertise. Holly, do you want to mention a few things about this?
Yeah, working with and supporting athletes is a really exciting place for dietitians to work. That could mean being hired by a professional sports team. That could be working in a gym, and kind of growing from there. That could be the focus of your private practice. Like I mentioned, one of my blog club members, that's her focus. There are different certifications that can support your professional development and demonstrate your expertise. The CSSD is, I would say, the gold standard, and it's a big deal to get that credential. So it adds uh, gold stars basically by your name to have that credential to say you really do know your stuff. This could also include working in research, like for all of the different hydration and how can you recover. It could be supplements there. So there are different ways that you can partner with to support the performance growth, getting those PRs, winning those medals for the athletes that you're supporting, whether it's directly one-on-one or bigger picture higher up in terms of research, policy, products, those kinds of things too.
As far as dietitian jobs, I think the obvious one is to work for a team, whether it's a high school team or a college team or a professional. If you're able to get one of those positions, they're hard to get. And so, if you're running a private practice and you want to get into sports nutrition, I think going to some of these private schools or even public schools, elementary or middle school or high schools or community colleges, and providing a nutrition talk, you'd be surprised at the number of parents back at the in the high school level or at the junior high level would be interested in working with you and consulting with you to work with their kid. So there's, you don't have to have the big job working for the Kansas City Chiefs like Missy did, but there are lots of other ways to hone in on being able to work in this area, because I think fitness is an area that people are very interested in. Again, meet the consumers where there are, and look for opportunities there. Awesome. All right. All right. So this was, oh, did we take out AI? Did I take out that one? I think I sure did. I took out AI, and because in the interest of time, we didn't have a lot of time to talk about it. I might talk about it separately, because I just think that there's so many opportunities for dietitians that can use ChatGPT. They can use like all the different ones that are out there. I have a whole talk on it. I gave a talk at Fancy on AI in your job search, but gave a nice overview of all the different tools that are out there, how we can use them for simple things like meal planning, for blog writing to augment what you're currently doing. It just really lessens your load so that you can be creative and be like working more with people instead of just on your computer a lot. So there's just a lot of opportunity there. We've got a lot of articles on that. This is the full list of all of the resources that will help inform our trends for 2025. And you can see there's a whole bunch of them. We obviously didn't have time for all of them. So we are at the end of our time. I wanted to remind you guys about Holly's services. She's super awesome. HollyLarsonWrites.com. She's got lots of really juicy stuff in there for you. So please do check her out. Follow her on all of her channels. She's got on Instagram, LinkedIn. Where else?
Those are the main ones.
Those are the main ones. Okay, yeah, mine too. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It has so few subscribers, but it's really, really valuable, and I need more subscribers. All right, this is how you connect with me. Check out NutritionJobs.com and dietitiansalaries.com, all one word. And please do connect with me over on LinkedIn. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Holly, for helping us research all this stuff. And thank you guys for participating today. I really appreciate it. Have fun at work, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye for now.